Good afternoon. Good to see y'all, and welcome to another episode of Narrow Path Living. So, the purpose of these talks is just to walk it out with you. Walk it out what a day in the life is like, what moments in my life are like, and what decision time in my life is like, and just kind of share my heart with you and chat with you like you would sitting down with a friend or my initial thought was for you younger people, younger than me, hey Kathy, how you doing, friend? Hey Deanna. For those younger than me, sitting down with a mother or sitting down with an aunt or a sister. If y'all don't have sound, you may need to touch the little volume button. I've got my mic plugged in, so the sound should be good for y'all. It's available there. Hey Sherry, how are you? Kathy, y'all tell me if y'all can hear me okay. Hey Donna, I don't have my computer here to check. Okay, y'all can hear. Good. Thank you very much. Thank you, sister. So, today I want to talk to you about, hey Melissa, thank you, Aunt Missy. Today I want to talk to you about my day and how my day went. Thank you so much for y'all's help. And because I want to talk to you kind of about how my mind works in the course of my day. And it works very differently now than it did years ago. Thank you, Dawn. I love sitting with y'all too. But I want to tell you what changed that, and what made that difference. So, what I want to discuss is the one question that I ask at the end of every day. Now, we wake up in the morning, whenever we wake up, and we start going about our day. So, I'm just going to kind of walk you through my day today. I got up at 3:32, I think, this morning. Do y'all look at the clock? Do y'all look like, oh, it's this time? I always remember the time it is. I got up at 3:22. And 32, sorry. Anyway, that doesn't matter. And it's dark. It's always dark when I wake up, which is my preferred. I get up, I came in the kitchen, and a lot of times Ricky will have the coffee ready, so I just had to press start. This morning he didn't, so I knew that he must have been up late doing something else. And so I got the coffee ready, took the dogs out, and I wait to make sure that my post is ready to go live on the Facebook group, and then I publish my post by 4 o'clock, and then I say good morning. And I sit in front of the computer for a few minutes, wishing everyone good morning and greeting people for a time. And then once I see that other people are there and they're greeting them and they're telling them good morning, I generally step away and have my time with the Father each morning. I like to give him the first fruits of my day. And that's important because, well, number one, he deserves our first fruits, not our leftovers. And most of my life as a believer, I gave him my leftovers. If I had time, if I wasn't too tired, if I didn't have anything better to do, then I would spend some time with the Father. And that's not how we treat him. That's not treating him as if he's God, okay? That's not treating him as if he's God. That's giving him our leftovers. And we treat him as a convenience most of the time, I think we do. And one of the things that years ago the Father started really impressing upon me is to hold him in reverence. To hold him in reverence, to stop treating him like he's, just a convenient thing, or even worse, and I'll talk about this on another chat. Sometimes we treat him like, I think a lot of times in our culture teaches us to treat him like he's our servant, and he's not our servant. He's not our servant. He's not he's not our genie in a lamp. He's not our servant. We're his. We should be his. we should treat him as if we are his, but that requires a humbling. And he will lead us there. We can humble ourselves or he will humble us. So I had my time with the Father, and then I had to start kind of my mad dash getting ready, because today we had people come to bring us, which is so wonderful. We're so excited. We have needed a new air conditioning unit for over 10 years, and we've just been kind of piecing ours together and making it work and getting it repaired and stuff. So today they came to not to start working on bringing us our new air conditioning unit. And they got here about 7:30, so I'd already been up a couple hours. I made breakfast for Ricky and Katie, and had that waiting on them. I had some muffins waiting on them when they woke up. But when they got here with that, the dogs just started barking like mad. You can imagine, because they had to be in our attic today. That's where our ductwork is. Our vents are in the ceiling, and they had to tear out all of our ductwork. And so I understand the dogs barking. It sounds like there's somebody in our attic. They're all over the house. And it was just it kind of frazzled me a little bit. Like my nerves were like, But I recognized that. I didn't just say, oh, my nerves are frazzled. I'm like, okay, wait. This is really starting to wear on my nerves. And I want to make sure that I don't react to this, that I don't take this out on anybody or get frustrated with people. And I actually answered a comment in the group that I felt, it was a comment. Yeah, it was in the group. And I saw somebody had left a comment. I thought, oh, I need to answer this. And so I took a minute and I answered it. And later on, I regretted doing that, because I felt like I should have taken more time and care with my answer. And so I went back and apologized. I'm like, hey, I was shorter than I would have preferred to be here. I said, I'm sorry if this seems short to you. And I explained, I said, this is no excuse, but here's what all was going on in my life. I got all these dogs barking, but, that's still no excuse. I just wanted to apologize. And here's a more fuller answer, that her question, her comment actually deserved. And she was very kind. She showed me a great deal of grace, and I really appreciated that. One of the things that I try to keep at the forefront of my mind in my interactions with people is how much grace the Father has shown us. And when I think of how much grace He's shown me, oh my goodness, it's so much easier for me to show people grace then. It is such a small thing for me to show grace to others when I keep at the forefront of my mind how much grace He has shown me. So that was something I really appreciated that. And it was a great lesson I learned, hey, I gotta, and I'm generally good at that. I've worked online for 13 years. And so I'm generally, good about knowing when I need to stay away. If I'm kind of frazzled, I need to stay away, because it always comes through in your tone, even if it's not, well, in my mind it does. But today I didn't. Today I faltered there. I fell short. And it was an interesting day for us. It was a very busy day for us, and a lot of work in and out of the house. And now we actually have we don't have a heating and cooling unit or ductwork or anything like that tonight. So I'm so grateful that we have these little plug-in heaters. The Father has provided those for us. I always kind of have little plug-in heaters, because I like to have I have one here that looks like a little fireplace, and I enjoy that. And so we have like 3 little plug-in heaters in the house, and those are a great blessing. And that's something that we've had for years, and isn't it nice that we have them now? But the thing is, at the end of every day, we're coming to the close of a day now. It's almost 5 o'clock. I'm going to go outside and blow my shofar in a little bit. And so at the close of every day, I ask myself this one question. And this is a very important question to ask. Did I represent the Father well today? How did I do? This is my little honey here. Honey, say hi. Say hi. This is my little honey. She's a crazy dog, and I love her. Generally, if you hear a dog getting into mischief while I'm on camera, it's Honey. But did I represent the Father well today? So I can look back over my day today And although I wasn't perfect, I learned some things today. I learned some lessons today. I gained some wisdom today. I had opportunities where in the past I would have become frustrated and frazzled and probably snapped at my family or, just gotten really frustrated, but I didn't. And there were opportunities for others to show me grace, which I appreciate them doing. And I gained some wisdom from that, and I was also encouraged by it. So I feel like all in all today, I did a pretty good job of representing the Father. Now, the second question that follows that is, and listen, my answer is not always that. Some days at the end of my day, I always have this little evaluation. Some days at the end of the day, I realize I'm like, man, I'm not happy with how I represented him today. Which always, regardless of how we answer that, leads to the second question. How can I do better tomorrow? How can I represent the Father better tomorrow? And there's always something we can do. This is the whole process. This actually leads us into the process of becoming less me-centered and more Yahweh-centered, And this is one of the things that I see a lot in the group. At this time of the year, we just started Leviticus today. So anytime we're leading a group through the Bible and we're in the beginning, I see them struggling with this. This is something they struggle with the most, that we all struggle with the most when we start reading the Bible from start to finish, is we struggle with being me-centered versus God-centered. And this is not something that I blame or fault people for, because this is how we've been trained to be our whole lives. This is how everything in this world teaches us to be. This is how, honestly, a lot of Bible studies teach us to be. They teach us to look through it through the lens of me in the middle. How do I view this? How do I feel about this? But the process is we should always be on our way to becoming less me-centered and more he-centered, more God-centered in our thinking. But we tend to view everything from our vantage point. And this process of asking ourselves, did I represent the Father well today? What can I do better tomorrow? This teaches us to see things from his vantage point. And this is a big part of the transformation process. For me, it has been a very big part of me. I know, I can guarantee you my husband and my family are very glad that I've been asking this question for quite some time. Because it has definitely made a big difference and helped me to become more Yahweh-centered rather than me-centered. And if we do that, that brings me to my other point. If we ask this question, did I represent Yahweh well today? How can I do better tomorrow? How can I represent him better tomorrow? Everything else is going to fall into place. Because if we are aware that we are representing him, our interactions with our children, with our spouses, with everyone we come into contact with, be they in person or online, it's going to be a more loving interaction. It's going to be a more nurturing interaction. It's going to benefit all of our relationships. It's going to benefit our work. Think of what a better contribution you're making at work if you're looking at it from that standpoint. One of the things that I always tell, like my son, he's in college now, and our daughter, she wants to get a job and she wants to go out, and we want her to do that too. We're just waiting on this whole thing to pass. But for now, it's mostly my son. He's out working in the world and doing different things and stuff. And I always tell him, when I was younger, and when I worked, I worked in retail. I worked in banks for years. I was a bank teller for a very long time. I did all kinds of different things. I was a photographer. I'm trying to think of all the things I've done. I've done all kinds of things. And I always had the attitude that I was representing that company in everything I did. I was the only face of that company that the customer was seeing. And so I held it very personal. My interactions were very personal. I wanted to make sure they were very positive, that they were a good representation of that company. Well, now that I'm older and wiser, I realize we're representing our Father. We're representing our Messiah. We're representing our Creator in everything we do, in every interaction we do. Everything you do, do it as if you're working for the Lord. We are in everything. We're representing the Father to our husbands, to our wives, to our children, to our cashier at the grocery store, to the person that we might walk by on the street and just make a brief eye contact with. We're representing Him. And one of the things that we can't overlook today, one of the things that we, as part of the body of believers, must own, we must take responsibility for, is how the body of believers have misrepresented Him. How we have misrepresented Him in the past. And so we've got a lot to make up for. We've got a lot of work to do. We can't afford to misrepresent Him, because we know that a lot of the body is misrepresenting Him today. And so, we have a lot of professing Christians. We have a lot of bad things that are being done in His name. A lot of very bad things that are being done in His name. And they're being done very loudly in His name. And so we've got to crank up the volume of representing Him accurately. We've got to crank up the kindness, crank up the love. We've got to make sure that we're walking it out. And so that's very important to me. Very important. As we ask this question, it will keep us moving forward. Asking this question every day will keep us moving forward, will keep us representing less of ourselves, thinking less of ourselves, and help us move into that God-centered mindset that we so desperately need. The goal is to be operating in the Spirit and not operating in the flesh. And that's a good way to define it. Operating in the flesh is a me-centered mindset. Operating in the Spirit is a God-centered mindset. That's how the Spirit is going to lead us. And I see a lot of people struggling with that when we're reading the Word, because we're reading the Word through the filter of how we feel and how we see it and what we think is fair and what we think is right. We gotta think, well, how does the Father feel about this? Oh my goodness, it's amazing how we can look and read about Israel and all Israel did, and how Israel time and again turned against the Father and time and again went astray, and not see that we are putting Israel to shame. The sins of Israel in the past, the body of believers today, we done blown them out of the water long ago. But the thing is, it is about individual responsibility. We're going to read throughout the Bible time and again that a people, a nation, a country may stand condemned, rightfully so, because of their own actions, their own repeated actions. You'll also see the Father gives us time after time, chance after chance, and He literally begs us to return to Him. And a people may stand condemned because of their repeated rebellion and repeated refusal, and their repent and their repeated actions against the Father. But the individual always has a choice. The individual always has a choice. And so for me, part of making that choice is every day, at the end of the day, I ask myself, I sit down and I have my little inventory. Did I represent the Father well today? And then, regardless of how I answer, how can I represent Him better tomorrow? So that's my little thoughts for the day. I want these to be kind of casual videos, so some of them I may just come on here and chat with y'all. I'm fixing to read all y'all in just a minute. I'm going to read what y'all are saying, but I wanted to show you too. You know, I'm big on writing verses. I love to write me some Bible verses out. So I wanted to tell you, share you the ones that I wrote out today. And I'm planning on having, these will be topics in the future. Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem. This is one of my, this verse just rips my heart out. Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, who kills the prophets and stones those sent to her. How often I have longed to gather your children together as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings, but you were unwilling. That's Luke 13:34, and we'll talk more about that on another video. And here's the other. This is a big video I got coming up. I feel like this one's going to be sooner. Whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there's anything worthy of praise, think about these things. It's Philippians 4:8. Worthy of praise. How often do we praise things that aren't worthy of praise? We hold up things that aren't worthy of being held up. We cling to things that aren't worthy of being clung to. And we cast aside gifts of eternal merit that the Father longs to give us, but that we don't want to be inconvenienced by, because we prefer things of our own doing and things of this world. So, thank you, Amy. She says, I love reading your debut Bible post. Let me see what y'all are saying here, and we'll chat for a few minutes, and I'll let y'all go. Let's see. And y'all tell me if there's certain things you'd like for me to talk about, and just kind of this is meant just to be kind of a, hey, y'all, here's how I'm walking the narrow path in my life today type videos. Just kind of a chat to encourage you. Yes, Lena, we treat him like he's a genie. Yep, we do. Judith, let me expand your comment. Judith says, convicting for sure. I usually get my reading time in the evening when the TV is on in the background. It's no good. I need to get up early, I think. I guess I make my excuses that I need sleep with home educating 3 littles. Yep, I've been there. I've made excuses. We homeschool 2 teenagers right now. My daughter and her best friend, she comes here to homeschool each day. And, you know, before last October, before I was retired, I was putting in so many hours a day. I mean, I was doing 8 hours a day on my full-time job. And then I used to make excuses. But then when I was writing this Bible study, the Father always made a way. I would pray, just make a way, Father. Help me find the time. Help me manage. Help me find a way. You know, I know you parted the ocean. I know you can do this too. And I would do 4 and 5 hours a day reading different Bible translations, researching and writing these notes and I don't know how I did it, but I do know how I did it. He made a way. And that's when I started getting up so early, and he made a way. And that's when I learned, when we earnestly seek, if our heart is in following him and we hold up his word as the gift that it is, and we start opening our eyes to it, and we say, Father, make a way, we'll find a way, or we'll find an excuse. And I had to face that with myself, because I spent most of my life finding excuses. And that's how I talk to myself, y'all. Now, I try to be gentle when I speak to you. I'm not gentle with myself. I have an inner drill sergeant. Now, I'm not saying I talk ugly to myself. You know, I'm not like that. We're going to talk, that's a topic one day too. But I have an inner drill sergeant. And there are days when I don't do it much anymore, but I would wake up in the morning and I think, I'm so tired. I just want to sleep some more. And my inner drill sergeant would say, you're going to get up, you're going to get out of this bed, and you're going to go in there and you're going to read your Bible, because the Father did not give you that book for you to let it sit there and collect dust. That's how I talk to myself. So, my inner drill sergeant said, you'll find a way, or you'll find an excuse. So which is it going to be? Do you want to give him your first fruits? Or do you just want to bring just anything you got? You want to give him your leftovers. Is he going to be your God? Or is he going to be your God when it's convenient for you? Is he going to be your God when you feel like him being your God? Or is he actually going to be your God? Because if he's actually going to be your God, then you need to get off his throne. And you need to let him start directing your life. And so I did. And it changes everything. I do think it's important. I think, if we're not willing to get up 15 minutes early and spend some time in the Word or spend some time in prayer, we just need to admit that to ourselves and be like, okay, so I am more of a, I will shine my light at high noon on a sunny day with clear skies. I'm not willing to do the hard stuff. But then we also have to realize, and I'm not talking to you now. I'm drifting off into my other train of thoughts as I do. But so please don't feel like I'm admonishing you. This is actually me talking about admonishing myself in the past, and as I still do. But we have to accept, if we are only willing to be part-time servants of the Most High, we should not expect him to be full-time with us. It's always funny because when we first start the reading plan, there's always people that first week who, they'll be in it, they'll read. It takes like 20 to 30 minutes a day, which I think is nothing. You look at what all he does for us 24/7. I can give him 30 minutes a day. I hope we're giving him a whole lot more than that. But we go through and we get all those readings, and then we get to the weekend, and then I'll post the weekend readings, and there's like all these people, wait a minute. We read on the weekends too? Yes. We study the Bible and read the Bible every day. Every day that he is our God, we are his child. That's what we do. It's always so funny. Because I know these are questions that I would have asked myself as well. I remember there was a time in my life where I thought going to a Bible study for 30 minutes one night a week was a big thing. I was really doing something. I was doing the Father a favor. I'm going to show up for you one night a week. I'm going to show up for 30 minutes. I'm going to bring a cake. We're going to spend 20 of that 30 minutes visiting with one another. And then we'll ask everybody how we felt about what we read. And then we'll go back and we'll go home and come back next week. That used to be what Bible study was for me. If y'all are in my study now, I have changed. Okay? I have changed. Bible study for me is hours spent in the Word, and even more hours processing it, just discussing it, writing it out. It's a whole different ball game. Let's see what everybody's saying here. Oh, thank you, Alex. Y'all see, I'm wearing progressives, and so when I'm trying to read what you're saying, I have to do this because I have to look down. I don't see very well in my old age. Thank you, Lynn. She says, thank you for this reminder. At the end of our day, did I represent the Father well today? Yes. Kim says the personal and individual responsibility is huge. It is. It is. And we are responsible we are part of the body. We're responsible for humbling ourselves and representing the Father and realizing that we bear the responsibility as representatives of him for how the body has misrepresented him. And so we better be in that Word. Let's see. Twyla says you read that. Twyla, you're talking about Max McLean, ain't you? Okay, I gotta tell y'all the story about Max McLean. So a lot of people in the group listen to the daily Bible readings on Bible Gateway. And if you do that, the ESV version has this guy named Max McLean reading it. And Twyla just described him as a Shakespearean dude, classically trained. And he really is. He's like a dramatic voice actor, And it was so funny because I don't listen to the Bible on audio. I learn better reading. My husband listens. We all have different learning styles. And that's why I've tried to have I'm trying to incorporate a lot of different styles in the Bible study. I'll have some videos. I'll have everything in print for those who read like me. And then I'll have audio for those that's better for the audio too. And people are talking about, oh, I was listening to Max, and Max was saying this, and I heard Max, and I'm like, hush, honey. I thought, what are these people talking about? Her bark really grates on you. No, honey, stop. There's a dog walking outside. Y'all stop. And I thought, who is Max? What are these people talking? I had no idea what they were talking about. And it was funny because it would always be the ladies talking about Max this, Max that. And I forget who I asked, and somebody finally said, oh, Max McLean. He reads the Bible. It's like, oh, okay, Max McLean. So everybody talks about Max. He's our buddy. And Twyla said, you read that with so much more compassion than the classically trained Shakespearean dude on Internet Bibles. And she said, he always sounds like irritated. He does. He sounds a little... Well, and I worry about that too. Sometimes, when I'm reading my notes and recording the podcast, I get so passionate. I get so fired up. And I try to always remember at the end when I tell everybody, I love y'all. Bye-bye. I try to always make sure you realize I mean it. I just get so passionate about the Word of the Father. And it's so convicting to me personally. It's so convicting, uplifting, encouraging. I mean, it is literally the source of life, So, yeah. Oh, thank you, Dakota. Thank you, Marie. Y'all are so sweet. Sheila says, any tips for encouraging family to read the Word? Yes. Well, I have all kinds of tips, so I'll just hit on a few today. And, ask me more specific questions in future chats, and I'm happy to help you. But, I think the most important thing is when you're excited about the Word, when you orient yourself to view the Word as the gift that it is. So pray to the Father that He just ignites that fire of excitement in you. And if you have it, say, Father, stoke it. Make the fire bigger. Help it grow. When we're excited about the Word, when we're passionate about it, when we love the Word, when we see the difference it makes in our lives, that carries over into everything. There is not a corner of my life that hasn't been blessed by me dedicating myself to reading His Word. He's changed everything. He has changed everything. His Word has made all the difference. Reading His Word from start to finish, not piecemealing it, not pulling out a few little verses here and there that make me feel good, not memorizing a couple things so I can spout them off and make me seem like I know what I'm talking about. Dedicating myself to reading His Word from start to finish has changed everything in my life. There is not a single speck of my life that hasn't been blessed by it. It's changed everything in my husband's life. He'll tell you too. Our family has changed forever. And He has brought life. He has brought life to dry bones just from reading His Word. And so when we read that, when we dedicate ourselves and we talk about it, and we talk about the Bible in our family, we talk about the Bible like people would talk about TV shows and stuff. Last night I was watching so-and-so, be like, I was reading the Bible today, I was reading this, and so we get excited about it. That's just a regular conversation. You will hardly ever see the TV on in our house. We don't watch TV or anything anymore. I don't know about whatever, I miss most of pop culture references now. But when you start reading the Word, it's so good. It's so exciting. Why would you want to give time to anything else? Why would you want to spend time watching TV and stuff? And so Ricky works from home now. He's been working from home since last March. So we're almost at a year of him working from home now. And he's still working his same job, but they've just got everybody working at home. And so he'll come down here soon. And in between, like when he takes a lunch break or a quick break, he'll catch a few Bible verses. That's just what we do. And he'll come down, did you read anything good today? And he'll say, what I was thinking? I read this verse, and I was thinking so-and-so. And we sit and we talk about what we read in the Word today. We're really enjoying not having to, I'm not going to get into that anyway. Okay, that was going to go into more current news, and I want to avoid that. And y'all, that's another thing I want y'all to learn. When you start to say something, if you realize that it's something you shouldn't say, I don't care how far you are in the sentence, ain't nothing wrong with stopping right there. Just stop. Just because you start to say something don't mean you have to say it. If you start saying something and you realize, even mid-sentence, what I'm about to say does not befit a child of the King, or what I'm about to say does not represent Yahweh well, what I'm about to say is not a good witness, is not good for the testimony that I'm trying to show people in the world of what he's done in my life. Come here, Bella. There's no shame in stopping. Stop. And just say, I'm sorry. That's not something I want to say. And let it go. Now, every now and then you may have those friends who goad you and just keep goading you into saying stuff. Those are the same kind of friends who goad you into gossiping or talking ugly about people. Those are not friends. Those are bad influences who pull you away from representing Yahweh well, who damage your reputation and your witness as a person who's trying to represent Yahweh. So we'll be talking about those as well too, in the future. Hey Bev, how you doing, sister? Thank you, Kim. Oh, love you too, Sherry. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, brother. He said your talks are such an encouragement. They let us know we don't have to struggle on. I hope so. I'm still kind of torn mentally. I feel like this is something the Father wants me to do, but I'm kind of torn because I'm also struggle. I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to just be here blabbering on and not being helpful. I like to be helpful. So I just have to keep, I'm constantly having these pep talks in my head saying, well, if they don't want to watch, they don't have to watch. It's not like you're making them. You're just trying to kind of visit and help, so we'll see. Rachel says, this was so encouraging. I need to do better at representing the Father in my everyday interactions with my kids and husband. Definitely something that's been on my heart recently. Sister, I feel you. And listen, also don't feel like it's ever too late. I know I'm not, I'm wandering off into my own thoughts here. I have been married. This will be our 23rd year of marriage. And I was just I don't like who I was when I was younger. I was frustrated. I was angry. Because we had our first child, Brady had colic, and I was exhausted, and I had postpartum depression, and it was just, but at the same point, I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm going to look and say, wow, Father, you have really helped me to become someone who can come to the end of the day and say, did I represent Yahweh well today? And I can say, I did a pretty good job of representing him today. I'm pretty happy with how I did today. I can still do better tomorrow, but all this to say that as you get older, the best years of marriage are those yet to come. We've been married 23 years, and I will honestly tell you, we are deliriously happy now. And now a lot of that, that's the Father. Not a lot of that. Every bit of that is the Father. We are in the Word together. We love His Word. We walk out His Word. We apply it wholly to our lives. And when we read something and the Father says jump in His Word, we have one of two responses. We can either say yes, Lord, or we can say how high. And we are of one accord in that. So that is a great blessing. And I realize that. I realize a lot of people don't have that opportunity in their lives. I realize a lot of people, their spouses aren't on the same page with them. But you know what? That's another opportunity for you to serve Father. You should serve the Father in another capacity of representing the Father to this person that He has placed in your life, that He's brought in your life. And you can lead them through being His light. That's a whole other topic. But I just want to encourage you. The best is yet to come. Best is yet to come. Our kids are 21 and 16 right now. And we are just so looking forward. We are just so enjoying our life. We enjoy every day. And our marriage is just a wonderful thing. It's just a wonderful thing. And it's way more fun than it was when we were younger. Way more fun. Y'all know. We call those the trench years. Now, don't get me wrong. We loved our little kids. We enjoyed our family. I'm just telling y'all. People who talk about like middle age and old age and stuff, it's the best. Middle age years are the best years. We're getting on. We're in upper middle age years now. I'm counting down the years till I get my senior discount. I'm getting close. I'm closer than Ricky because I'm a year older than him. Me and Ricky are both getting a year older this month. And so I'm getting real close to 50 now. And 55, you get a senior discount in a lot of places. So we're looking forward to that. Let's see. Yes. Oh, Twyla, girl, you got it. She said God wants someone on duty 24/7. It's okay to keep the night shift. Absolutely. Now, y'all, I say this a lot, so if you hadn't heard me say it yet, you will. I don't feel like you have to get up early in the morning to be a good child of the King. Whenever you get up, that's your morning. Okay? And we all work differently. My husband, he is very alert and he's very aware in the evening. He studies really well in the evening. I'm useless. After 6 o'clock, I am utterly useless, good for nothing. Hey, honey bear, you want to come say hi? Oh, sweet darling angel. So let's see. Teresa says, I'm thankful that at the end of the day, others are living life and having issues in their life too. Absolutely. So I don't feel like such a failure when I have a bad day. You know what? I get it, sister. But he will redeem that. If at the end of our day, we come to him and say, Father, I don't like how I answered this question today. I didn't represent you well today. And my heart hurts and I'm grieving. And I'm very disappointed. And help me. I feel broken. I feel wounded. If we bring that to him, he redeems it. And he brings the beauty from the ashes. And he will bless that. He will take that experience and he will turn it into a blessing for him. And then the next question, it comes in, how can I do better tomorrow? He will lead us step by step, okay? Relationship with the Father, it's a step-by-step relationship. It's a day-by-day relationship. And you're never alone. And as long as you bring it to him, he'll redeem all that. He will use all that to make your life richer, to make you a better representative of him. You know, the thing he does is he expands our heart. When we seek him wholeheartedly, he expands our heart. And we're actually able to love more. We're able to feel more love. We're able to hold more love inside. And so our love reserves, like right now, let's just say, this is all figurative, of course. This is the size of our love reserves. The more we seek him and follow him and love him, the bigger our heart gets and the bigger our reserves are. And it just helps get you through a lot of days and nights in the desert when you need it, you know? Thank you. Lena, is your name, am I pronouncing it right? Lena? Lena Ray. Is it Lena or Lena? I like to pronounce people's name right. And so if you tell me how to pronounce it and I mispronounce it in the future, I want to apologize in advance. Donna says she needed to hear my inner drill sergeant. Yes. Oh my goodness. She has 3 little ones and one doesn't sleep through the night. Oh, girl, I get it. Now listen, she says I tend to go back to sleep instead of getting in the word. Okay. You're in a different place. When you have those children who don't sleep through the night, sometimes you do just have to sleep when they sleep. So you're in a different season in your life. You're going to need to do the best you can and just seek him in all times. You know, one of the things years ago, I was talking to a friend about praying without ceasing. And she gave me a lot of insight. It was a great awareness for me, awakening. It was a moment. And I said, you know, I'm not good at praying. I don't have this set time where I just sit and pray for an hour on end. I said, I talk to God all day long and I'm constantly talking to him and everything. Like in my thoughts, I don't think to myself. I think to him. You know what I'm saying? My thoughts are a back and forth conversation with him now. And she said, Christy, what do you think praying without ceasing is? And I thought, oh, wow. So this is very much a time in your life of praying without ceasing. And you'll get there. You'll get there. Thank you, Katie. Oh my goodness, I'm really behind on your comments. I'm sorry. Oh, Dawn, I love that. She said, I've been excited to be more in the Bible for a while now. One day I realized I'm going to meet Jesus soon, and I really want to know him better. Absolutely. Oh, thank you, Twilight. Twilight, that's a great encouragement to me. That really encourages me more than you know. She said, I'm legally blind, and the audio is a literal godsend for me. On the flip side, you do have to hear my voice, but, it's all good. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Chuck. Yes, I've been loving what you've been doing, Sandy. Sandy says, this year on my birthday, I calculated how many days old I am, and each day I've been posting how many days old I am, reminding myself to be mindful of every day. Each day I want to spend time in the Word and prayer. Your Bible study helps me remain mindful. You help me remain mindful. You have been a really wonderful iron sharpens iron influence in my life, and I greatly appreciate that. And if y'all don't have those iron sharpen iron friends in your life, I want to encourage you to pray for them, because the Father means for you to have them, and he will give them to you when it's his time. If you don't have them right now, he may have something else he's wanting you to do right now. He may want your attention more on him right now, because he'll send different friends for different seasons of your life. But I also want to encourage you, make sure that your circle of friends is not filled. Make sure you're not surrounded by people who are leading you away from him, who are not encouraging you, who are not bringing you closer to him. Sometimes a lot of times I find that there have been times in my life where I'm asking the Father to give me something. Meanwhile, both my hands are clenched around something that I don't want to give up. Both my hands are clenched around something of the world that is keeping me from him, that is separating me from him. And I'm asking him for forgiveness. I didn't even give him one hand. And then when he shows it to me, I'm like, right. There's this great quote that I love, and I think about it a lot. I love quotes and things. It said, everything I've ever let go had claw marks in it. Y'all think about that. So I want you to be praying for some godly friends. And it may be that you have some friends in your circle who need to be cultivated, and they're going to become those godly friends. Maybe you need to get them in the Word with you, and they're going to become those godly friends. The Father's already planted these seeds, and your job is to water them a little bit. So think about that too. Let's see, sorry. I'm really behind y'all in your talking. I'm sorry. Y'all are so sweet. Amy says, I absolutely could live without my TV. I have tried to live. I don't want a TV in the house. I do not want a TV in the house. We have 2 TVs in the house. One is in our daughter's room, and she doesn't watch TV, but she has this one DVD that she'll play at night when she goes to sleep. It's just this kind of noise in the background. It helps her sleep. And the other is here in the living room. And the main time we have it on, if Ricky's mom and dad come, we all connect our phones to it, and we'll be showing each other pictures of things we've been doing and stuff like that. And, that's about it. I will tell you, a couple of weeks ago, there was this TV show thing so I watch the news. I watch the news on YouTube every now and then. And there was this commercial that was playing. And I watch teachings. I don't watch them, but I'll have them playing while I clean the kitchen and stuff on YouTube. And there was this commercial for this TV show. And I thought, wow, that looks like something I would actually enjoy. And so we had just got done. We were getting ready. We'd just get done with supper. Sarah Jane was here, our bonus daughter, and Katie. And I'm like, y'all, there's this TV show that I actually want to watch. And they're going to have one come out tonight. And if you know how to get it on the TV, maybe we could all watch it. Because I don't know how the TV turns on. I don't know how to do anything on this TV. It's so confusing. And Sarah Jane was like, you want to watch that? And Katie's like, Mom, are you serious? And I'm like, yes, it looks really great. And Ricky comes in. He's like, what is it? And he's like, you want to watch a TV show? And he's like, what one is it? And he goes, you want to watch that? Yeah, the whole show was a lie. The whole show was a lie. I thought it was like some kind of a 1950s sitcom type thing. The whole thing was a lie. It was one of those superhero things that I never watch. And I am so disappointed. And that was my lesson. And I'm done again. I'm done. I'll watch TV again in a couple of years. Maybe if Messiah comes back and does like a press conference, I'll watch it then. Yes. Oh, Donna, I love that. She said the whole word, all of it. He has fired my desire to roaring. I love his word. Rachel is listening from New Zealand. Oh, that's one of the places I'd really like to see. I have heard it is absolutely beautiful. And that's the one place I think if there was another country that I could live in, I would go to New Zealand in a heartbeat. Hey, Jermaine, I hear Ricky coming down. Oh, thank you, Twyla. Oh, y'all are so sweet. Thank you. Ricky, you want to come talk? You want to come say hi? We're on live. You got to come sit down.
I was going to come in for the side here.
Shush. Hey,
we have Dog McGinn here.
He brings chaos when he comes in sometimes. Jill says, I just found this. How do I know when these chats are on? So this is something new I'm doing on my personal Facebook page. And I just kind of do them whenever. I don't know. If you see a bell or something, you might could click on that. Usually on a lot of people's, there'll be like a little bell. You can see, you can click that and get notified. You could also make sure you follow me on this Facebook page. You can just click follow and you'll see them. Sandy says, when I pray, I often ask God to enlarge my heart and then fill up the enlarged places with more of Him. Absolutely. Hey, Pat. Lena. That's how she pronounced her. Thank you. Let's see. He just loves to talk to us. He does. Okay, let me scroll on down so I can get, and I'll come back and read some of these comments later. So I was telling them today, I'm springing all this on you.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I was telling them that one of the questions I like to ask myself at the end of the day is, did I represent Yahweh well?
Right.
And then be honest with myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
there's some days where it hits you.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn this so they can see you a little better. Just watch your feet.
The goal is each and every day that becomes less and less, right?
Yes.
You have less and less times where you go, I really should have done this.
As long as you ask the follow-up question of, how can I represent Him better tomorrow?
Right.
He will redeem that.
He will.
And He will teach us in that and stuff. Mm-hmm. This is his dog.
Mm-hmm.
This was my dog. This is Bella. And Bella is spoiled rotten. Oh, Lena says, no, you had it right the first time. Sorry. Okay, so now I got it right. I got it right now? Is it Lena? Okay. Sorry. This is Bella. Mm-hmm. And Bella is spoiled rotten. Mm-hmm. Say hi to Ren. Ren and Karen just joined us.
Hey
Bella is Ricky's dog.
Yeah. When
she was, I try to remember to take these off. Our dogs, they all have my phone number on their collar, so if I'm doing anything on the internet public, I take that off. When Bella was a puppy, she slept. Oh, now she says nope. Lena, I'm going to have to figure out how to say your name. Now I'm not saying it right. Lena, is that right? Lena. What a sweetie. Yes, actually we have a dog named Sweetie too. Sweetie, come here, sweetie. Sweetie is she's kind of shy. She was, all of our dogs are rescues, and Sweetie had a very difficult life. She is really sweet with us, and she loves us, but she's understandably skeptical of everything else. Lena, I am saying it right. Okay, thank you.
You got it.
So when Bella was a baby, she slept right up here. She was asleep in the crook of Ricky's arm, and she's a little spoiled. Are you a little spoiled? Yes.
A lot spoiled.
Yes, Jill says, when I go to heaven, I hope God gives me animals to supervise. Oh my goodness, yes. We are animal people. Thank you, Lena. Thank you. Lena, I hope you show me grace, because I'm probably going to ask you again next time. But now you know how to tell me. And I'll get it eventually. I promise. So, little sport rotten dog. Did you have a good day at work?
Busy.
Busy? Are you done for the day?
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't freezing, we could go sit on the porch.
We have got to
have
go
coffee.
Get some propane.
Why we gotta get propane? Oh, we're
we
out.
Propane.
Good evening, Sandra. How are you? I have to go. I have to blow my shofar. I blow my shofar every day at sunset. It's something I dedicated to do last March. Yeah, she's precious. When COVID hit and stuff, I'll have to tell you all that story one day. It's something the Father kind of prompted me to do, and so I blow my shofar every day at sunset. Somebody asked me, 16 inches of snow. We ain't got a bit of that here.
Oh, goodness.
Somebody asked me what the shofar does in the spiritual realm when you blow it. It makes a noise. I don't want y'all to be thinking that we're not going to get into this new age stuff. No. The Father's word is enough, and His power is enough, and we get our strength in Him alone. But we do have things like shofars, just like we have tambourines, we have our voices, we have things that we can praise Him with. And throughout the Bible, He tells us, when you see trumpets in the Bible, most of the time it's a shofar. And He tells us to blow our shofars, to rejoice, to cry out to Him, And so it does. It's very soul-stirring. And let me tell you why. It's the sound we're going to hear when Messiah returns. It's the sound we're going to hear when Messiah returns. But I don't want y'all thinking that, I'm blowing my shofar so I can command legions of angels or something. I would never presume something like that. That's the Father. I go to the Father for all that stuff. So we do need to be careful. It's a fine line between... The world is just constantly trying to lead us away from Him. So we got to be careful of that. But anyway, I love y'all. And I'm going to go blow my shofar, and then we're apparently going to go get propane. So I have to leave the house tonight. So my favorite thing to do. Mm-hmm. Oh, Dawn says my bigger shofar will be delivered today. Oh my goodness, she ordered the one I got on Amazon. Oh, I hope you enjoy it. Send us a picture. I love you too, Sandy. Thank you. The other day, I'm so excited, y'all. I only have 2 notes on my shofar. And I've been trying to get a third note, and I finally gave up. Well, the other day, I was explaining to the girls how to blow a shofar. Thank you, Kathy. And how to make it make a sound. And basically, here's how you blow a shofar. You go, that's how you blow it. And I was telling the girls, and I said, and they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, see? And so and I held the shofar up as I was doing that, and I had my third note. I was so excited. I'm like, oh, so now I've got to practice it, though. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Renee. Oh, Lib, thank you so much. I am so glad you're here. I'm so glad we get to study the Bible with y'all. We will holler at y'all later. Are you starving to death? Or are you okay?
I'll be all right for a little.
Y'all have a good one, and we'll see
y'all.
you soon. See you next time. I love you. Bye-bye.